And now we're up to the second program, which is consists of three Russian pieces from Russian repertoire, and it relates to what I said earlier, to being a little bit nostalgic in the wake of the 70th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking about what really changed me in the past. There was a number of works, not one, not two, but just a small number of symphonic or instrumental works, which really paid an incredible meaning to me when I was a young boy. And certainly the works which I've chosen for this concert belong to that category. First of all, it is pictures at the exhibition by Mussorgsky, orchestrated by Maurice Ravel. Obviously, I got to know it first in the piano version, original version, when I was a kid, a student, and then played numerous times with my years with the Moscow Philharmonic Orchestra, followed by years with the Boston Symphony, followed by many times performing the piece in various locations with various orchestras. But this piece is another absolute jewel. Of course, it's not a symphony, you know.
Purely orchestral piece.
Yes, it's but it's not symphonic work. There is no sense of seeing a meaning of life or musical understanding of our existence. It's not there.
As the title suggests, it's completely depictive, and there is no better composer to treat something like that than Ravel. Many composers and arrangers have orchestrated pictures from an exhibition.
Yes.
Rimsky-Korsakov, Lucien Calais, Rimsky-Korsakov, so many, Stokowski, I meant to say, have done that. But nobody achieved a mastery like Ravel has done.
Well, that, as we know, that was a request of Serge Koussevitzky, who approached Ravel with this idea to orchestrate the pictures. And certainly what Ravel did was outstanding. But he did something to music of Mussorgsky which is, in my opinion, very special. And that is adding French colors.
Yes. I recently attended a Russian dinner that was very much inspired by French cuisine. Mm-hmm. And there's no doubt that that elements of French culture found their way into Tsarist Russia, and much earlier than that. So, and when you think of Tchaikovsky and the number of pieces that he wrote that he gave French titles to, it's certainly a nice connection to make, not inappropriate.
Absolutely, especially in orchestral treatment
Yes.
of woodwind soloists, treatment of percussions, treatment of harp. That was purely French. But interestingly enough, Mussorgsky himself had huge influence on French composers, especially on Claude Debussy. Therefore, this connection seems totally logical, absolutely logical.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, is a brilliant piece for the orchestra.
It's a total showpiece, and also gives an opportunity to hear some solo instruments that you don't hear all the time. The tuba has a significant solo, and the alto saxophone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
He passed the test. Yes. Anyway.
I used to play that solo when I played the alto saxophone.
Oh, I see.
It starts on a really, really hard note for the alto saxophone, but we deal with it somehow.
Well, the person whom we hired will have no trouble
Absolutely
negotiating
not.
first note.
Absolutely not.
She's a professor of saxophone from University of Illinois. Anyway, the complementary works on this program are the Vocalise by Sergei Rachmaninoff, which I first learned as a violin line with the piano, not knowing that it was written for voice. And the reason why I had to learn it, because all of us young violinists had to learn that piece. That piece is a perfect vehicle to develop romantic vibrato. And so we had to practice it daily, just to develop beautiful flowing vibrato and create very long sustained lines. So then later I discovered it was actually voice, and even later, already in this country, I heard the recording of Eugene Ormandy in Philadelphia Orchestra with entire first violin section playing this line with the rest of the orchestra. So I really love this piece, and I never get tired of it, of this beautiful melody. He certainly had a gift of melody.
A complete and total gift, and that's why so many other instruments have taken it for their own. You also hear versions for cello and wind instruments too.
Absolutely. Anyway, so that will be preceding the Ravel, Mussorgsky Ravel. But the first half of the concert will be devoted to Symphony Concertante by Sergei Prokofiev. He is one of the latest work for cello and orchestra, which was a result of collaboration with young Mstislav Rostropovich. As we know, Prokofiev wrote cello concerto, which was not entirely successful and simply did not work out as a natural flow of music, labored or sewn with a white thread, you know, as we say. Okay, but then after trying a few times, Prokofiev did come up with this final version, which he calls Symphonia Concertante. The translation of this piece to English is not entirely correct, because Symphonia Concertante in our mind related to Baroque or early classical era, when you have a number of soloists and accompaniment of free piano orchestra or a small orchestra. This piece in Russian language sounds like symphony hyphen concerto.
A bit more like what Benjamin Britten did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, but you see, Benjamin Britten wrote title already in English.
Yes, cello
so
symphony. Yes.
He did not make a mistake translating it. Anyway, so this piece became one of the greatest works for cello and orchestra. And since it was written with a close influence of Rostropovich, and he was first performer of the piece, who understood to the just the very, very delicate turns of each mood and phrase in each movement. And since he had such an enormous gift and power of performance, he made this piece really a great vehicle for cello. The first performance was done by strange conductor. You know who conductor was? Sviatoslav Richter.
The pianist.
Yes, both Prokofiev and Rostropovich convinced him that he should conduct. And he did conduct it. But after a performance, he decided that that performance was his last appearance as a conductor. Nevertheless, I think it is a very interesting piece.
So one could say that Richter's conducting, as a conductor, he specialized in the works of Prokofiev.
On one work.
Yes, on one work.
Yes, and only once.
Well, nonetheless, it's occurred to me that in looking back at, or in looking at your own 70th birthday, this concert of three pieces has behind it other pieces that, or other people, of course, that were important in your life, with the vocalise and David Oistrakh.
Right.
And there was certainly no more respected Russian musician than Rostropovich. And, of course, with the Mussorgsky, your father being a pianist, I would not be surprised if that's how you first heard the music.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, that's all true. So there are very deep connections to the past, reminiscences, and a hint of nostalgia.
And a connection to Northwestern, since the cello soloist graduated from
Of
Northwestern,
course.
Anna Burden.
Of course. Here, I like to make a special announcement that it's been my almost a policy to use not only soloists from the orchestra, but especially not only principals, but members of the like a viola section or a cello section, which demonstrates the depth and the power of entire section, which is actually a whole 7 people. Anyway, Anna is a new associate principal cellist with the Montreal Symphony. Therefore, it's no mistake that I called her, and together with congratulating her with a new job, I gave her this unobtrusive hint. You must play Prokofiev next summer.
She's also a really good Words with Friends players. We play every day.
Really?
Yes. It's one of the things we do to relax a bit from our busy lives.
I see. I learn every day. Anyway, so I think we're done with this second program. I'm looking forward to have Anna as a soloist. For people who don't know her, I can only say that she did go to Northwestern as an undergrad, and she was in my orchestra for 4 years, many times as a principal cellist. She won our concerto competition with this piece, so I accompanied her right here. And then she played magnificent Richard Strauss Don Quixote with a solo cello. At the time when she was already pursuing her master's degree at Juilliard School, but she flew back to play the Don Quixote, and that was absolutely magnificent. And I invite her to be our regular member of Peninsula Music Festival Orchestra. So it will be a great night.